So Richard's asking us over on LinkedIn. They're finally looking. His organization is finally looking at starting to move over to Intune. One of the first things they'd like to test is moving baselines. We use the baseline non-compliant collections to target deployments. Any advice or warnings about this move? Oh, are you? I think you're muted, Johan.
I think you're right. I was talking on mute there for a bit. Uh, it sounds like talking about configuration baselines, but due to the context, it sounds like it could be something else.
Yeah. If security baselines, then we've probably got a few things to say.
Yeah, so Richard, if you can clarify whether it's security baselines or configuration baselines.
I don't
I'm
know
not.
how I missed this, but did you notice with the move to the settings catalog for the security baselines in Intune, you can now see them. They all show up in the configuration profiles UI in the Intune Admin Center.
No, but feel free to show if you have something up.
I do. So here, I'll show. You can go ahead and share my screen if you'd
Yeah,
like.
I'm on it. Yeah.
So here, this is one example. Security baselines. The new ones are settings catalog baselines. I hope the 23H2 one was, but it might be. Let's just for testing purposes call this security baseline 24H2. This super live unplanned demo, the best.
Those are the best.
Uh, so let's see. Don't need to assign it or anything because this is really just a UI change. All right, create. So here, for example, 24H2 baseline, this is going to have settings catalog policies. And if I go over to devices and configuration, well, if I go to Windows and configuration profiles, you know, normally, as you've seen, Johan, this is where we're just going to have our standard configuration profiles. But now what's showing up in here are the security baselines. We also have any Defender antivirus policies, all of the account protection policies that we create in the endpoint security node. So actually, now that I'm looking, it's even more than the settings catalog. And I don't recall these actually being in this page until recently.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So actually having them in a central location is pretty useful, I think. Um, so Richard did have a follow up here. He was referring to config baselines, for example, their security stack verification.
All right.
So So their verification checks for the installation of all the SecOps software, and if non-compliant, it puts it in a config manager collection that is targeted with the various software deployments. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so you can do a custom compliance policy in Intune that is a script.
Hmm.
So I have one of our community members to write a script to look for 4 different applications that had to be installed, and their service had to be running this with security software. That in order for them to be compliant, that they needed those applications installed and running. Otherwise, it would flag it as non-compliant. So that's something that works quite well. I believe it was Peter van der Voorde who wrote about it. Let's see if I can find that one. Peter Customer compliance policy. Yeah, working with custom compliance settings. So let me see. Where did the screen go? Here. So this blog post we referenced a few times here on office hours, but this is a guide that take you through creating the script for the detection, whatever that script does, and then modify and create a matching JSON file for the settings, what they should be, and then that will force the machine to be either a compliant or non-compliant state. So very, very useful. It hasn't been around for so long in the Intune platform. I think it came, if it wasn't last year, it was like close to a year ago, something like that.
Mhm.